Inexpensive, easy to install, like super easy. Like I'm gonna do every van this way because there's no way that to do like complex power systems. What I'm doing today is actually I told Velit or Velit. I say Velit. Is it Velit or Velit? But I say Velit. I told Velit that I would make a video about the Velit. Yeah, that's actually what I'm doing today. So I haven't really done much on done a lot since the last video, sure. I actually haven't touched the van in like a month because I've just been, like, summers are so busy for me. I go to events, I do expos, I do a lot more video work and office work. So I haven't really been able to sit down and like get the van done. The Velit whatever heater is going to be right in here. Now I made it this way intentionally. I was able to just remove the top plank or this side to get easy access to this. Now I probably could have done it by just opening up the fingers in there of the bed slider, but it's just easy to take off on and off. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take these wires and put them in here, but I just drilled a hole right there. I used this little pilot drill. I shouldn't say little, it's pretty long. I drilled a pilot drill from up underneath the van because I wanted to know where it was going to land. Now, that hole right there is a little bit further to this side than I wanted it to be. So I actually do have some room to just go this way. So I think I can go right about there. And I have a 5-inch hole saw. I did leave it back inside, and I'm gonna go inside and we're gonna show you the Velit here in a second. But like, if you watch other people put these in, you'll see them like cut out almost like a long, like it's almost like a rectangle with it's circular on the end. And that's because they do 2 holes and then they cut the middle. I have learned with these airtop units that it's actually a 5-inch hole gets you plenty of room, and you can actually put all of the things through there, and we're going to go inside and you're going to see what I'm talking about in a second. You can put everything through that 5-inch hole. Now the difficult part to all of this is actually making sure you have enough room underneath. Let me get my blanket here, put it down on the ground. So what I mean by that, oh my goodness, what I mean by that is underneath you guys can actually see that there's a lot happening underneath the van. We've got, you know, exhausts, and you've got the gas tank right there, you've got wires right there, you got other stuff coming down, you got the actual frame right here. So where did I drill that hole? The door's right here. I drilled it somewhere up in here, but I'm actually not going to drill I'm not going to put the 5-inch hole saw going up through this way. I wanted to drill up this way with that pilot, and then I'll drill down with the 5-inch diameter hole saw, and I'll be able to cut that entire piece out. The reason I picked this place because I have frame here, frame here, frame here, and I'll be able to get everything right where my hand is right here, and I'll be able to come down. I have plenty of attachment points for the exhaust and for the intake and all the things that you need for, and nothing else is my way. No brake lines, no other, you know, nothing from the rear differential or nothing from the rear, anything of this, nothing in the exhaust. Boom, I got plenty of room right in here. I'm going to take you over to where where a lot of people put it. I am right underneath the passenger seat right now, and that's where a lot of people will put this, right underneath the passenger seat. I don't know if you guys can see, probably can't. There is 0 room in there. I'd have to, that's the frame. I can't drill into that. So I'd have to get like up in here, and to get all the piping through here and everything, it's just not worth it. Realistically, yes, it would be nice to get the heater right in there. It would fit perfectly right in there. But there's not enough room going down underneath. There are too many things get in the way. What I did do of recent was installed this swivel seat. So this seat does turn around, and it's quite nice. Last little bit of things I got to do here, and I'm actually not going to be doing tonight. The sun is setting. I'm going home, and I'm recording this on a holiday. So I'm going to go back inside. We're going to show you guys what that whole heater contraption actually looks like. After I drill the 5-inch hole, you guys will see this later in the video. I'll put everything through. I'll screw it down. I'll put all the wires together. I'll secure everything, and then I just use this big gap filler to spray in, and that fills the hole, everybody. It's really that easy. The reason why I went with Velit is because, yeah, it is super cheap. under $1,000. Not only that, it's really easy to clean. You got to maintenance these things. I'm just gonna leave these in here. Why not? Nobody steal my stuff. Get some Rust-Oleum to when after you make the cut. Yeah, I'll leave all this in here. I got to do a little piece of trim right up in there. You can't really see it, but there's a little piece of trim there. I added this metal step right here, and I got to do the passenger side sliding door. Oh, and then I got to do the DC to DC charger, which literally just hooks up to the battery and goes all the way through to the back of the van and into the Convolt power system. Now, the added benefit of using Velit, they are also one of the main distributors for Convolt power. Convolt is a game changer when it comes to the van power itself. After I do the heater, let's talk about the Convolt. You can buy them both at velitcamping.com, which is amazing. Inexpensive, easy to install, like super easy. Like, I'm gonna do every van this way because there's no way that to do like complex power systems and heatings and all that stuff. Like, just keep it like this is simple, DIY friendly. I don't want to call it budget, but it's inexpensive. Let's go inside and then I'm going to do the install and we'll show it later. Shop space inside my makerspace. You guys might hear some voices in the background. They've got some event happening here. Community space, everybody. This is the Velit heater. I have it tipped on its side right now. Oh. There you go. Pretty much all of this is just easier to kind of get assembled on tabletop, and this is what I was talking about, that 5-inch hole. I can get these two pieces right through that 5-inch hole, and the 5-inch, here it is right here actually, it's my hole saw. That hole saw will fit all of that. And then I can still bolt down the plate on these, you know, 4 sides right here. Fuel pumps, everything has, it's good to go. Got the fuel line. I also didn't mention this, I didn't show it when I was out there underneath the van, but my gas tank has already been tapped. Luckily, you know, I'm friends with a lot of people in this industry. The Econoline, you know, to tap that tank, you normally have to drop it. One of the guys over at OVP, Overland Van Project, they found a gas tank tap somewhere. I don't know where they found it, and I apologize for that, but it's actually, you can actually drill it in from the side, and they make a special thing that goes down. Normally you'd have to use this right here to get into the gas tank tap. So really all I got to do is connect this tube to the pump, and I don't know if this is a filter of some sort, and I think it has to go from tank into pump through the filter and then into this, and I got to double check on that. This is the holder for that right there, the fuel pump, so that's going to be kind of secured. And then I got the muffler. And how you do the mufflers, you actually have to just pretty much cut it somewhere in here. You cut it and then you just, you know, attach it. Luckily now, I can actually leave my van at site and get that done, because before I couldn't do that. So I have another vehicle, and then these are all the wires. This wire is going to the outside of the vehicle, or underneath the vehicle, because this plugs into this. Oh, I gotta make sure I did the right one on that. Pretty sure that is correct. And then these two go on the inside. This is obviously to power, and then this, oh, this goes to this contraption right here, which is the how to turn it on and off and regulate the thermostat. Boom. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put that as well. So it looks more complicated because of all the pieces, but it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together. You just gotta have to like put it in piece by piece, and it just takes time and, you know, dedication and sitting down and doing it all. I mean, we're in the middle of the summer, so I don't really need to fire this up, but I guess I should probably do that just in case. Yes. And obviously make sure you have enough gas in the tank. Right here is the DC to DC charger, which that's a different, I mean, maybe I'll install it in this video as well. Yeah, I might as well. So the hole has been cut and the heater is actually in place. See the front plate of where it's going to exit. I'm eventually going to get to that, so don't worry. That's like the last thing I'm going to do. It is actually bolted down. I already bolted it down, and I've got the 2 wires. They're going to connect to power, and then to the contraption, I guess the thermostat, that's going to go right there. We'll get underneath the van here. You can see that's all dangling right now. So lots of dirty jaws. Somebody's got to do it. So there you see the hole, and I don't know. We're gonna tack this up. We're gonna figure that out. I might even cut this a little bit, or maybe just stick it somewhere. The fuel line needs to come. I didn't show this yet. So we tap the fuel tank, which is right in the front there. You can maybe see that plastic fuel line right up there. So that's gonna come across this over here, over the frame, and then down the side where I am right here. So that's gonna run down here. And then obviously the pump has to go in there as well in the filter. So I have all of that up in the van right now, and then I just gotta get to work. I need to actually look up to see where the pump should go, if it needs to be close to the tank, or if it doesn't need to be close. If it doesn't need to be close, I'm gonna keep it on this side of the van. Some things to keep in mind. I've got an exhaust right here. This is this gets hot, so there's a heat shield right above that. So I gotta go above the heat shield. Obviously, you don't want plastic rubbing up against this exhaust pipe. All things to consider when you're putting in an airtop heater unit. Fun times. I hate installing these heaters. You know what? I honestly should have just paid somebody. I just think it's just easier. Like these, like, yeah, it's not hard. Like, did it? I'm gonna do it. Everybody else does it. It's DIY stuff. I get it. My time to like do all this and trying to, like, for example, like running my YouTube channel is my job. I spend hours on editing. I spend hours on promoting. I spend hours on networking and talking to people and going to shops and filming and all these things, right? That is my job. Okay, your job is whatever it is you do. Some people are engineers, some people are teachers, some people are, you know, working in an office, in a cubicle, whatever it is, like insurance. It could be anything. So to do something like this on your downtime or on your off time, on, you know, the weekends or whatever, it can be hard for some people. I am now seeing that, like, how much is your time worth? Or is it worth you just spending $1,000, $2,000 for an install rate? Something like this is like a $800 project, or $800 unit, I think. It would probably cost, if I did the math, if I'm doing math quick enough, it's like about $1,000 in labor hours. So would I just pay somebody $1,000? I probably should have. That's what I'm saying. Probably would have been easier just to give somebody $1,000. You might be like, well, $1,000 is a little high, Jared. All right, they have to pay for insurance. They got to pay for shop space. They got to pay for their time, what their hourly rate is. So all those things are, you know, all the tools that got them to this point, right? Like, we've got a whole shop of tools inside, you guys. I would have rather had my time back personally. I'm sure Vela's gonna love me saying that. Oh well. I'll catch you guys up as soon as I'm done installing all this, and I'll show you guys where I ran all the lines. That'll be fun. I don't know what the last thing I recorded was, so I have no idea where this video is gonna end up or how it's gonna end up. The heater is done, and I'm working on my DC to DC charger. I got the heater controls right here, right next to all the other things on the bench. Actually, let's see here. You can see the cover right there, or the vent, excuse me. Heater's all done. Heater's all dialed in. I don't know what I showed. Didn't probably show much. We go under here. I'm just gonna lay on the ground. Screw it. I got the fuel line, runs across above the heat shield of the muffler over the drive shaft. I've got it all bolted in with clips. The tap is over there as well, and the pump is over there as well. Intake right there, exhaust way over there, and I think we're good to go with the heater. I gotta use gap filler to kind of fill in the hole that I created, and that's actually right there. Now I got the DC to DC. I am working on that now. You might not, you can probably see the cables. Here are the cables right here. And I bought, what did I buy? 6 gauge? I think I bought 6 gauge wire. And I wrapped each wire with, so it's a marine grade wire that's flexible, multi-strand. And then I wrapped it with a, whatever that is, like a, I'm blanking on the name. Sorry, everybody. It's from the battery all the way to the back. This is a wire that I bought, it's an 18 gauge wire. That's actually for the Convolt DC to DC, which is really cool. Show it right here. That guy right there. The this wire that I was just showing you guys with the ferro rod in there, that plugs into this guy right here. And I gotta tighten it all up. I gotta put zip ties in here and everything else. And then these two wires, positive and negative, will feed into that guy right there. And then when you want to turn it on, I actually kind of like this. It's kind of like a switch. You actually use it through your 12 volt or cigarette lighter port inside of your vehicle, and it switches by hitting that button right there, and this will illuminate to let you know that it's charging. So what's really kind of cool about it is it acts as a switch to turn on or off the DC to DC charger. It's not always running, which can give a draw on your battery when it's off, I guess, technically. So this kind of prevents that from happening. The DC to DC charger will be done within the next 20, 30, 40 minutes, give or take. The van is pretty much done, and I have a deposit on it. I don't know in the beginning of this video if I had a deposit on it. I don't think I did. All the little things that people do not talk about. I want to build my own van. I want to do this. Well, there's a lot of little things that kind of go into it. You know, I spent days underneath the van, you know, and granted, I'm only working 3 hours a day right now because of where my shop is located to my apartment, and then timing wise and work. And I'm going to end the video here. Also, just mention that there's some big changes that are going to be coming really soon. I'm excited for them. I have a video planned. I don't know if that is going to come to fruition, but I might just change my content entirely. We'll see. But there is a method to my madness. The best part about all this is I think that everything I've done in my life, from going to college for architectural engineering, going to Los Angeles to be a struggling actor, failed actor, you guess you could say, stand-up comedy, improv background, or improv into stand-up comedy, to starting a YouTube channel, getting into a van life, designing and building my you know, all my vans, technically, all 5 of them, a tiny house build. The content is the future of my channel, I should say. It all is a culmination of all of those things and what my new content is going to be, and I'm super excited, and I'll explain all that in that video when I do come out. But I think my loyal followers and people that watch me consistently will definitely appreciate what I'm about to get into. They're not going to be surprised by it by any means, because I've been talking about it for friggin' 10 years that I've had this channel, and I've honestly just been dragging ass. Enough is enough. Let's get after it.